Listen to me, no more excuses, no more waiting, no more talking about what you're gonna do. It's time for man up. Too many people out here are living below their potential, making soft choices and letting life push them around, but not you. Not today. Today, we draw a line in the sand. Today, we step up and take responsibility for our lives, our success, our destiny. You've been sleeping on yourself for too long. You've been playing small. It's time to stop blaming, stop complaining, and start dominating. Man up means no more running, no more hiding. It means facing every challenge head on. It means being the leader, the warrior, the beast that you were born to be. So if you're ready to take your life to the next level, if you're ready to stop making excuses and start making moves, let's go! It is time to man up. Nobody's coming to save you. Read that again. Nobody. You can sit around waiting for someone to recognize your potential, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for life to get easier, but that's never going to happen. Life is not fair and it doesn't owe you anything. The moment you understand this is the moment you take control. See, most people want to point fingers. They blame their upbringing, their circumstances, their boss, the government, the economy, everything but themselves. But here's the truth. As long as you're blaming, you're giving away your power. You're putting your future in someone else's hands. Taking full responsibility means owning everything. Your wins, your losses, your past, your present, your future. It means looking in the mirror and saying, this is on me. If you're broke, that's on you. If you're out of shape, that's on you. If you're stuck in the same place year after year, that's on you. And I know it's hard to hear, but it's the truth. Winners take accountability. Losers make excuses. Now let's be real. Taking responsibility doesn't mean life won't throw challenges at you. You will face setbacks, heartbreaks, failures. But it's how you respond that defines you. Are you going to sit there and cry about it, or are you going to get up and handle your business? Too many people want to feel sorry for themselves. They want sympathy. They want someone to pat them on the back and say, it's okay, you tried. But trying isn't enough. Either you get it done or you don't. Either you find a way or you make an excuse. It's that simple. Taking responsibility is about control. When you accept that everything in your life is your responsibility, you take back control over your destiny. You stop waiting for permission. You stop looking for handouts. You become the master of your fate. And that's where real power is. The man who takes full responsibility for his life is unstoppable because he's no longer at the mercy of external forces. He doesn't waste time complaining. He doesn't let failures break him. He learns, he grows, and he moves forward. Always forward. Most people fail before they even start. Not because they lack talent, not because they don't have the resources, but because their mind is weak. A weak mind will destroy every opportunity before it even has a chance to grow. A weak mind will tell you, this is too hard, what if I fail, or I don't think I'm ready. And that's exactly why most people never reach their full potential. They let their doubts, fears, and insecurities talk them out of success. But listen to me, success starts in your mind. If your mindset is weak, your life will be weak. If your mindset is strong, nothing can break you. Developing an unshakable mindset starts with what you feed your mind every single day. You have to guard your thoughts like a soldier guarding a fortress. You can't let negativity, doubt, and fear take root. What you listen to, what you watch, who you spend time with, these things shape your mindset. If you're constantly around people who complain, make excuses, and accept mediocrity, you will start to do the same. If you're constantly feeding your mind with distractions, negativity, and garbage, don't be surprised when your mindset is weak. You have to train your mind like you train a muscle. You have to feed it with powerful, positive, and disciplined thoughts. One of the most powerful ways to build an unshakable mindset is through adversity. Too many people think struggle is a sign to quit. They think failure is proof they're not good enough. But the strongest minds are built in the toughest battles. Pressure creates diamonds, and if you want to be great, you have to embrace the struggle. You have to push through the pain, the frustration, and the setbacks. Every time life knocks you down, you get back up stronger. Every time you feel like quitting, you remind yourself why you started. That's how you build an unstoppable mindset. You also have to eliminate all excuses. People with weak mindsets look for reasons why they can't. People with unshakable mindsets look for ways they can't. When you make excuses, you weaken your own power. You tell yourself that something outside of you is in control. But when you decide that there is no excuse, no obstacle, no setback that will stop you, your mind becomes bulletproof. Nothing can break you because you refuse to be broken. Another key to developing a powerful mindset is staying disciplined even when you don't feel like it. Your mind will try to talk you out of things. It will tell you to take the easy route. It will tell you to skip the workout, to sleep in, to put things off until later. But you have to override those thoughts. You have to reprogram your mind to do what needs to be done no matter how you feel. Discipline is what separates the strong from the weak. It's what keeps you pushing forward when motivation runs out. It's what makes the difference between success and failure. Excuses are the enemy of execution. Every time you make an excuse, you give yourself permission to stay the same. You give yourself a reason to settle. And the truth is, excuses feel good in the moment. They give you a way out. They make you feel like it's not your fault. But excuses don't produce results. Excuses don't pay the bills. Excuses don't build legacies. Execution does. The difference between those who win and those who lose isn't talent, luck, or intelligence, is action. The ones who succeed are the ones who refuse to make excuses. They don't sit around waiting for perfect conditions. They don't wait for permission. They don't wait until they feel like it. They just get up and get it done. Most people are trapped in a cycle of procrastination because they let their excuses control them. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I don't know where to start. These are just stories people tell themselves to justify not taking action. The truth is, if something is important to you, you'll find a way. If it's not, you'll find an excuse. Every time you say, I don't have time, what you're really saying is, it's not a priority. Because if it was a priority, you would make time. You would wake up earlier. You would cut out distractions. You would stop wasting time on things that don't move you forward. The most successful people in the world have the same 24 hours as you. They don't have extra time. They don't have an advantage. They just execute. They take massive action even when they don't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when they don't have all the answers. They understand that waiting for the perfect moment is a trap. There is no perfect moment. There is no right time. The right time is now. The people who win in life are the ones who stop overthinking and start doing. They don't sit around talking about what they're going to do. They just do it. Fear is one of the biggest reasons people make excuses. Fear of failure, fear of looking stupid, fear of not being good enough. But fear only has power if you let it stop you. The way you kill fear is by taking action. The more you do, the more confident you become. The more you execute, the less fear controls you. You start to realize that most of the things you were afraid of weren't even real. They were just illusions created by your mind. If you want to change your life, you have to stop talking and start doing. You have to move with urgency. You have to act like your future depends on it, because it does. Every day you waste making excuses is a day you could have spent getting better, getting stronger, getting closer to your goals. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It only cares about results. And the only way to get results is to execute. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. If you operate at a low level in one area of your life, that same mindset will bleed into every other area. You can't expect greatness while accepting mediocrity. You can't want success but live by average standards. If you want to win, if you want to dominate, if you want to be the best, you have to set the standard and then raise it every single day. Too many people set their standards based on what's comfortable. They do just enough to get by. They work just hard enough to avoid getting fired. They eat just healthy enough to not feel guilty. They put in just enough effort to convince themselves they're trying. But just enough is the enemy of greatness. Champions don't do just enough. They demand more from themselves even when no one is watching. They operate at a higher level because they refuse to accept anything less. Your standard is what you accept from yourself when no one else is holding you accountable. It's not about what you do when you feel good. It's about what you do when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when no one would blame you for taking it easy. Do you still show up? Do you still put in the work? Do you still push yourself beyond your limits? That's what separates the best from the rest. Once you set a standard, you don't stay there. You raise it. You don't settle for yesterday's effort, yesterday's discipline, yesterday's results. You demand more from yourself today than you did the day before. You keep pushing, growing, evolving. This is why most people fail. They get complacent. They hit a goal and think they've made it. They put in work for a while, then start coasting. But winners don't coast. They don't stop when they reach a goal, they set a new one. They don't celebrate too long because they know there's always another level. Your standard should scare people. It should make people around you uncomfortable. It should separate you from the pack. People should look at the way you move, the way you work, the way you show up, and know you are different. They should see your effort and realize they can't keep up. You don't compete with others. You set a standard so high that they can't even touch you. The key to raising your standard is discipline. You can't wait for motivation. You can't depend on how you feel. Your standard has to be non-negotiable. It has to be something you commit to no matter what. It's easy to have high standards when everything is going well, but what about when life hits you? What about when you're tired? What about when things aren't going your way? That's when your standard matters most. That's when you find out who you really are. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Some days you wake up feeling energized, ready to take on the world. Other days, you don't even want to get out of bed. If you rely on motivation, you will never be consistent. And if you're not consistent, you will never be great. The most successful people in the world don't depend on motivation. They depend on discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's showing up every single day, no matter how tired, unmotivated, or uninspired you feel. Motivation is an emotion, and emotions are unstable. They change based on your mood, your environment, and your circumstances. One minute you're fired up, the next you're making excuses. You discipline or your actions are not dictated based on your standard. You don't negotiate with yourself. You don't allow your emotions to dictate your effort. You follow through on your commitments no matter what. Most people wait until they feel like it to take action. That's why they never get anywhere. They let their emotions control their actions instead of their actions controlling their emotions. Winners flip the script. They take action first and the emotions follow. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't wait for inspiration. They just start moving. And by moving, they create momentum. That's why disciplined people get ahead, because they don't stop. They don't hesitate. They don't give themselves a choice. Discipline is what separates the amateurs from the professionals. Amateurs go to the gym when they feel motivated. Professionals go no matter what. Amateurs work on their craft when they're inspired. Professionals work on it every day. Amateurs make excuses. Professionals make progress. The difference isn't talent. The difference isn't intelligence. The difference is discipline. If you want to succeed, you have to train yourself to act regardless of how you feel. Building discipline is like building a muscle. At first, it's hard. It's uncomfortable. Your mind fights against it because it wants to stay in its comfort zone. But the more you push through, the stronger you get. The more you show up, the easier it becomes. Eventually, discipline becomes a habit, and habits shape your destiny. You no longer think about whether or not to do something. You just do it because it's who you are. One of the best ways to develop discipline is by setting non-negotiable rules for yourself. No matter what, you get up at a certain time. No matter what, you put in the work. No matter what, you stick to your commitments. There is no debate. There is no second guessing. There is no waiting for motivation. You decide once and then you execute over and over again. When you train yourself to be disciplined, nothing can stop you. You become unstoppable, relentless, a force that cannot be shaken. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is the greatest teacher you will ever have if you're willing to own it. Too many people run from failure, they hide from it, they deny it, they make excuses for it. But the truth is, failure is inevitable. If you are pushing yourself, if you are aiming for greatness, you will fail. The problem is not failure itself. The problem is how people react to it. Weak-minded people blame others. They look for ways to shift responsibility. They convince themselves that failure is something that happened to them, not something they created. But winners take full ownership of their failures. They don't make excuses. They don't point fingers. They look in the mirror and say, "This is on me." Owning your failures is the first step to growth. You can't fix a problem if you refuse to acknowledge it. When you take full responsibility for every mistake, every setback, every missed opportunity, you put yourself in a position to learn. You start to see patterns. You start to recognize where you went wrong, what decisions led to failure, and how to prevent it next time. This is how you gain wisdom. This is how you level up. Every loss contains a lesson, but you have to be willing to look for it. You have to be humble enough to admit that you messed up and strong enough to face it head on. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than most people have even tried. They don't fear failure because they know it's part of the process. Every failure is a step forward, a lesson learned, a necessary piece of the puzzle. The only way you truly fail is if you quit. As long as you're learning, as long as you're adjusting, as long as you're willing to adapt, you are still in the game. That's what separates the great from the average. The average person lets failure break them. The great ones use failure to build themselves stronger. Adaptability is the key to bouncing back. When something doesn't work, change the strategy. When you hit a wall, find a way around it. Life is not going to go exactly as planned, and if you are not willing to adjust, you will be left behind. Too many people stay stuck because they refuse to change. They keep doing the same things, expecting different results. But success belongs to those who can pivot, who can take a loss and turn it into a new plan, a better approach, a stronger mindset. Owning your failures also builds resilience. When you stop seeing failure as a dead end and start seeing it as a stepping stone, you become fearless. You stop hesitating. You stop second guessing yourself. You develop a mindset that says, no matter what happens, I will figure it out. That kind of confidence is unshakable because it's built on experience, on lessons learned through real struggle. And once you develop that, nothing can stop you. Weakness is the enemy of greatness. It creeps in when you choose comfort over growth, when you back down instead of stepping up, when you let pain dictate your actions. Weakness is not just physical. It's mental, emotional, and spiritual. It shows up in the excuses you make, in the limits you accept, and the way you shrink when things get hard. If you want to win, if you want to dominate, you have to eliminate weakness. You have to attack it, expose it, and refuse to let it control you. Pain is a test. It's the fire that reveals who you really are. Most people run from pain. The moment things get tough, they quit. They tell themselves it's too hard, it's not meant to be, or maybe I'm not good enough. But those are lies. Pain is not there to stop you, it's there to build you. Every time you push through pain, you get stronger. Every time you fight through struggle, you grow. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who embrace the pain, who lean into the discomfort, who refuse to let temporary suffering dictate their future. Your mind will always look for the easy way out. It will always try to convince you to stop, to take a break, to quit when things get hard. But you have to override those thoughts. You have to train yourself to keep going even when every part of you wants to stop. The greatest athletes, the greatest leaders, the greatest warriors all have one thing in common. They don't give in to weakness. They don't let pain be the reason they fail. Instead, they use it as fuel. The body can handle more than the mind believes. Most people quit at 40% of their true capacity. That means when you feel like you can't go any further, you still have more left in you. Your mind is the only thing holding you back. When you push past that mental barrier, when you prove to yourself that you can endure, you unlock a new level of strength. You start to realize that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Eliminating weakness is not about being invincible. It's about refusing to accept anything less than your full potential. It's about training your mind and body to keep pushing, to keep fighting, to keep striving for more. Every challenge, every setback, every painful moment is an opportunity to become stronger. The question is, will you rise to the challenge or will you let weakness win? Will you push through the pain or will you let it break you? The choice is yours and the answer determines your future. The people around you will either push you forward or pull you down. Who you surround yourself with determines your mindset, your standards, and your future. If you spend your time with people who make excuses, who settle for average, who are comfortable being weak, you will become just like them. But if you surround yourself with lions, people who are hungry, disciplined, relentless, you will rise to their level. Lions don't move with sheep. They don't follow the crowd. They don't blend in. They lead. They dominate. They set the standard. If you want to be great, you have to align yourself with greatness. Sheep are comfortable. They do what everyone else does. They follow the path of least resistance. They are afraid to stand out, afraid to take risks, afraid to push past their limits. They settle for mediocrity because it's easy. But lions are built differently. They embrace the struggle. They chase the hunt. They thrive under pressure. They don't wait for opportunities. They create them. They don't fear obstacles. They run through them. The problem is most people choose comfort over challenge. They stay around sheep because it feels safe. There's no pressure to level up. There's no demand for excellence. But staying in that environment is the quickest way to kill your potential. Weak-minded people will always try to keep you on their level. They will discourage your ambition. They will tell you to slow down, to relax, to be realistic. Not because they care about you, but because your grind exposes their laziness. Your discipline makes them uncomfortable. Your hunger reminds them of what they lack. That's why you must separate yourself. You need to be around people who challenge you, who push you, who hold you accountable. People who demand more from you, not less. People who see your potential and refuse to let you waste it. A real lion doesn't let another lion slack off. They don't tolerate weakness. They don't allow excuses. When you are surrounded by lions, there is no room for mediocrity. There is no space for laziness. You either step up or get left behind. Finding the right people requires making hard choices. You may have to cut off friendships that no longer serve your growth. You may have to distance yourself from family members who drain your energy. You may have to walk alone for a while before you find your pack. That's the price of greatness. Not everyone can come with you. Not everyone is built for the journey. Look at the people in your life. Are they making you better or are they holding you back? Are they lions or sheep? If you want to dominate, if you want to rise above the average, you need to make sure your circle reflects that. Surround yourself with warriors. Surround yourself with people who refuse to settle. Surround yourself with those who are chasing greatness just as hard as you are. Success is not about talent, luck, or intelligence. It's about work. Relentless, unstoppable, disciplined work. The people who dominate in life are not the ones who were given the most advantages. They are the ones who refuse to be outworked. They show up earlier, stay later, and push themselves harder than anyone else. They don't make excuses. They don't wait for the right conditions. They don't stop when they feel tired. They put in the work day after day, no matter what. That's what separates the best from the rest. Most people work just hard enough to get by. They do the bare minimum. They clock in, go through the motions, and clock out. They want success, but they don't want to sacrifice for it. They talk about their dreams, but they aren't willing to put in the hours. And then they wonder why they aren't winning. But the truth is simple. Your work ethic determines your success. If you don't grind for it, you don't deserve it. A relentless work ethic is built on discipline, not motivation. Motivation fades. There will be days when you don't feel like working, when you don't feel like pushing, when your body and mind scream at you to take it easy. But discipline is what keeps you moving forward. Discipline is what makes you show up, even when you don't want to. The ones who succeed are the ones who train themselves to work regardless of how they feel. They don't wait for inspiration, they create it through action. Working relentlessly doesn't mean working mindlessly. It means working with precision, with focus, with purpose. It means attacking your goals with intention, eliminating distractions, and maximizing every single hour of your day. Too many people claim they are working hard, but they waste time scrolling, talking, and procrastinating. Real work is not about being busy, it's about being productive. It's about putting in hours that actually move you closer to your goal. The key to mastering relentless work ethic is pushing past your limits. Most people quit when things get uncomfortable. They stop when they feel pain, when they feel tired, when they feel like they've done enough. But that's where the real growth happens. You don't become great by doing what's easy. You become great by doing what others won't, by pushing yourself further than you thought possible, by outlasting everyone who didn't have the discipline to keep going. Relentless workers don't believe in balance, they believe in obsession. They go all in. They eat, sleep, and breathe their craft. They are willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes. They don't care how hard it is, how long it takes, or how many sacrifices they have to make. They understand that greatness is earned, not given. And the only way to earn it is through relentless, disciplined, unstoppable work. Purpose and passion are the driving forces behind everything great in life. Without them, you're just going through the motions. You're working without a real reason. But when you lead with purpose, when you lead with passion, everything changes. You become unstoppable. Your goals become clearer, your focus sharper, and your drive unrelenting. Purpose is the why behind everything you do. Passion is the fuel that powers you to keep moving, even when things get tough. When you combine them, you don't just work for success, you work for fulfillment. People who lead with purpose are always clear about why they're doing what they're doing. They're not motivated by external rewards like money or recognition. They're motivated by a deep internal desire to make a difference, to fulfill a vision, to be part of something bigger than themselves. Purpose gives you direction. It gives you meaning. When you know your purpose, when you wake up every day with a clear vision of what you're working toward, it's impossible to lose. Passion, on the other hand, is what gives you the energy to pursue that purpose with intensity. Passion is what gets you out of bed early and keeps you working late. It's what makes you excited to face challenges, to push through adversity, and to keep going when everyone else has given up. Passion makes the grind feel less like work and more like a mission. Passion is contagious too. When you lead with passion, others can't help but get excited. They want to follow your lead. They want to be part of your vision. But leading with purpose and passion is not about following a blueprint. It's about tapping into something deep within you that says, this is who I am, and this is why I do what I do. It's not about fitting into someone else's idea of success. It's about creating your own. Your purpose may not look like anyone else's. Your passion may not match the typical path, but that's what makes you unique. That's what makes you a leader. Leaders are never afraid to be different. They know that the path to success is rarely a straight line, and they embrace that uncertainty because they are fueled by something greater than fear. They are fueled by purpose and passion. When you lead with purpose and passion, every setback becomes a lesson. Every failure, an opportunity to grow. You don't take things personally. You understand that challenges are just part of the journey, and the deeper your purpose and the stronger your passion, the easier it is to navigate through those challenges with a smile on your face and fire in your heart. Leading with purpose and passion doesn't mean everything will be easy. In fact, the road to success is full of obstacles, but with a clear purpose and an intense passion for what you do, nothing can stand in your way. It's the difference between a job and a calling. It's the difference between showing up because you have to and showing up because you know that what you do matters. Listen, if you're still sitting here waiting for the world to change, waiting for your circumstances to improve, I've got news for you. It's not going to happen. It's time to man up. No more excuses, no more waiting. It's time to step up, take responsibility, and own your life. The world doesn't owe you anything. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is you. So if you're tired of being average, tired of watching others win, tired of seeing potential go to waste, now is the time. You've got to take control. It's time to stop talking, stop wishing, and start doing. If you want success, you have to earn it. If you want greatness, you have to work for it. Every day, every hour, every minute, make it count. You have to push past the pain, eliminate the weakness, and work like there's no tomorrow. So, I'm telling you right now, man up. Take responsibility for your actions, your success, your failures, your growth. You want to win? Then go out and make it happen. You've got the power, you've got the opportunity, but only you can seize it. Thank you for listening, and I believe in you. Now go show the world what you're made of.